Rodgers does not trust all the medical experts when it comes to COVID-19 vaccinations and all that because he grew up playing Resident Evil, like a lot of us. And anybody who played the game Resident Evil, you know about the Umbrella Corporation, people. You know about Umbrella. Umbrella is corrupt. All right? They call themselves making a vaccine, for the T virus and all that stuff, and here's what happens. It turns people into zombies. And some people turn them into monsters. All right? You have to in order to understand him, you must go play the video game. And you don't got to play it very long. Go and look up the history of it. And some people are like, well, that's fiction, bro. Well, let me tell you something. It's exaggerated truth. So that means there is some truth to what goes on with the Umbrella Corporation. It happened to a corporation in real life before. I don't know which one, but let me tell you something. A lot of times with movies and games and books and all that stuff, let me tell you something, people. They will over-exaggerate the truth. That's what they do. People over-exaggerate the truth. They over-exaggerate the story. You know what? People do that with the news. They do that with when you watching Sports Center. They over-exaggerate the truth. For example, you ever see when Russell Westbrook does a turnover, and they'll say, well, Russell Westbrook, he does not care about his teammates. Look at that, just selfish. I have never, ever heard of a teammate who said Russell Westbrook was selfish. Google it. Please tell me. But I have other people who say they speak for other people that was on his team or whatever. But everybody say he was a great teammate, one of the best teammates ever. You know what I'm saying? Encouraged me and all that stuff. But Sports Center, ESPN, and other networks, they over-exaggerate the truth. Well, in this case, they're just straight up lying. They're over-exaggerating a lie. Over-exaggerating a false story. You know why? To get views and clicks. All right? So here's the thing right here, people. If you're AAron Rodgers, hey, you grew up playing Resident Evil, man. And what's the stem of what happened in Resident Evil? A pharmaceutical corporation manipulating the public, manipulating the science. You follow what I'm saying? And then we get this apocalypse. And then who do we have to rely on to save us from that? Chris Redfield, Jill Valentine, Leon Kennedy, okay, and others. All right. So, and if you watch the movies, Alice and Rain. And the rest of them, Luther, who else? Did I say Claire Redfield? Chris Redfield too. Yeah, Claire and Chris, they're brother and sister. We have to rely on all them, right? We have to rely on them. So if you're AAron Rodgers, yeah, he's skeptical on that. And see, a lot of people are like, well, everybody else is taking it. We got to take it and all that. And let me tell you something. Hey, yeah. I get it. But here's another movie. If you're AAron Rodgers, hey, man, when you got drafted in the NFL, this movie here came out. iRobot, Will Smith. You remember his character? You remember his character in that movie? Check this out. Everybody was like, these robots are the best, man. These robots, they will do everything for you. You can trust them, man, with your Social Security, all that stuff. You can trust them. He was the only one who didn't trust him. You know why he didn't trust it? Because what happened was, as a cop, a family, their car crashed and it fell inside the water and stuff, right? He goes in to swim to save them, and let me see. He goes in and he's close enough to save the girl. But what happens is, well, actually, he wasn't close enough, but the robot dives in and saves him. But the robot could have went down and saved the little girl at first. And he was telling him, no, save them, save her, save them. And he had to watch that family and that little girl drown. And the robot pulled him up. All right. Pulled him out. Okay. And here's the thing. The robot pulled him out because they saw the probability of his life was higher than hers. But that's when the robot was at Will Smith's vantage point. The robot can get in there quick and could have saved everybody in there, but it didn't want to go down and do it. There was no humanity of it. So the robot there was no sincerity in his heart, so it didn't care about that. It just cared about the numbers. You know what I'm saying? The numbers. All right. So that's why he had his beef with the robots. But guess what? What people will say, man, listen, man, that's one situation out of a million, out of a billion. But guess what? It's still a situation. It's still a situation to that family who lost their loved ones in that car crash. It may not mean, just see, that's the thing, people. Just because it doesn't mean anything to you or to the majority doesn't mean it does not matter. It matters. Everybody's feelings matter. Everybody's like situations that happen, their trauma that happens to him or her matters. Just because it has not happened to you. You know, check this out. My dad and my father-in-law, they died of lung cancer. Okay. Everybody's parents who passed, it does not die from lung cancer. But here's the thing. I don't know the statistics of it or anything like that. But let me tell you something. Everybody's not thinking about lung cancer with their parents. I think about that because I lost my dad and my father-in-law to that. So the thing about it is like, well, you know, that's high on my radar. Okay. It's not high on everybody else's radar. But here's the thing. Just because it's low on your radar doesn't mean you shouldn't care about that, because you never know. It could happen to you. It could happen to somebody you love. All right. So AAron Rodgers, he also said that he's allergic to something in there, to an ingredient that's in it. And it's like, who are y'all to question that? Now, if you're going to get on AAron Rodgers and say, well, he's not a medical expert, he shouldn't be saying this and that. I understand that. So if you're a person doing that at the same time, if he's telling you that he is allergic to something, you're not a medical expert. So how dare you tell him that he is, you know, he's not allergic to something that, you know, and you can't counter that with statistics when most people are not allergic to it. Well, a lot of people are not allergic to peanut butter, you know. But here's the thing. You still have to be respectful to a person that you know that is allergic to peanut butter to not serve him or her peanut butter, you know. So it's not about the majority, people. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody doesn't go through the same sickness, the same trauma, the same experiences. You know what I'm saying? So you have to be able to show empathy to others. You know what I'm saying? That's what we're supposed to do as human beings. But yeah, in iRobot, when the robots finally turned on the humans, Will Smith said, somehow I told you so just doesn't fit. You know what I'm saying? And it's like the world wasn't prepared because everybody relied on these robots and they trusted them with everything. They didn't even think about, oh, what if this robot malfunctioned? Because things can malfunction, people. So here's the thing. If you're AAron Rodgers, check this out, people. AAron Rodgers came up watching iRobot. Playing Resident Evil. There's like, what, 20 different Resident Evil games and movies, and they got a new movie coming out this month. Go check that out. You got a Resident Evil series and stuff like that. They got the novels, the comics. So here's the thing. The root to everything in Resident Evil came from a pharmaceutical company called Umbrella. So AAron Rodgers, hey, maybe that's why he's the way he is on this, you know? And if you don't understand it, hey, man, do the research. Go play Resident Evil. Go battle Nemesis. All right. Nemesis is a product of Umbrella. All right. He came about because of a virus that Umbrella created. You understand what I'm saying? A vaccine that Umbrella created. Nemesis, that's a character who, no matter where you go in the game, he busts through the door. He speed walks, power walks. You can sprint. You can't outrun him. He's going to follow you. He is relentless. Let's hope that none of that stuff happens or whatever. But nah, seriously though, like maybe that's the thought process where he's coming from. And maybe he just doesn't trust the pharmaceutical companies. So I don't know. But anyway, share your thoughts if you're watching the YouTube channel. Do you think it has something to do with, do you think Resident Evil and iRobot might have had an impact on with AAron Rodgers on how he's thinking on this? All right, share your thoughts in the comment section below. Wherever you listen to the podcast at, man, comment in the review section and let me know and share your thoughts on this too, all right? Once again, thank y'all for tuning in. Student of the game. Peace.